Perhaps you could show us some of your recent work with calligraphy.
Or maybe some bindings. Do you have something on hand on?
I have a few things to show you. It's for better or for worse, most of my recent projects have been sold, but I do have some interesting things to show you that are not that familiar. This is the first scroll me and my dad actually made. So he made the whole engineering of it while I just made the scroll inside. So it has this type of lock,
yeah,
which opens, and this in front is actually a door. I'm not sure if it could be seen properly, but
yeah. We can definitely see, and maybe even read a bit.
But yeah, as I said in the beginning, these are really the first projects I really want to incorporate everything from calligraphy to handmade paper and just make complete conceptual projects. It's really fun, and I feel that really people have a more emotional response and connection to them rather than just from a blank book. But we've yet to see. I'm not really able to make a complete transition right now and just to make only these ones. But I hope in time I can.
Do you see if there is a market for objects like these? Because I'm sure that there should be some collectors that would want to have books and scrolls and other artists' books objects like these ones in their collections.
I really think so, and that is one of the reasons why I'm giving this much of my time right now, because actually the person who purchased that particular book I mentioned earlier from Society of Bookbinders competition in 2019 was a very big collector, and he showed me after he purchased it a catalog of his whole collection. It was just staggering. I mean, he has things from Mesopotamian clay tablets to modern contemporary artistic bookbindings from big names like Sangoskin, Sutcliffe, Philip Smith, so on. And it's been a real honor to actually have one of our works in his collection. And he mentioned this particular thing that he really thinks that there are a lot of collectors in Europe who are very eager to fill their collections with examples from authentic work from Eastern Europe and the Balkans and Russia, because there just isn't much of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So every bit counts, I guess. I'll show you what I've been working on, and it's going to be a lot more ambitious. So basically, after I made a lot of paper this season, I've made, my father actually designed these frames.
Yeah.
And they've been printed on a lot of pages. And this is going to be folded. And this is actually how the signature is going to be constructed. So I've been practicing some scripts. It's going to be a whole book written in such a way. I'm still not sure exactly what type of script to use. For example, this is a bit thin, and this is a thicker variant with a bit more decoration
on
the script.
I could read the first one. This
Yeah.
is this is more of a incantation to me.
Yeah, I really like this type of
It
atmosphere.
definitely looks more fairy tale like.
Yeah, and I've tried also in red, and this is basically just a sneak peek on the design process. It's sorry, my
What will the text
screensaver.
be?
I want to. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there is this mystical historical figure in Bulgarian history. We had a king that we really attribute our only golden age in the Bulgarian medieval history to him. He was Tsar Simeon.
Wasn't he the one who had a brother who could turn into a wolf and a raven?
Yeah, exactly this historical figure, but this is his son, not his brother. He
Oh.
had two sons. One was Peter, and one was this one, Veniamin. Basically, Peter was crowned king after him, and he was a devout Christian. And Veniamin decided to return to paganism and accepting the old Bulgarian name Boyan. So he's known as Boyan the magician, Boyan
Yeah.
Magesnik. And there is really only one short historical chronic written about him, basically that he accepted the pagan name, he wore pagan clothes, and he is known to practice magic and turn into a wolf. And this is the only evidence of his character. And it exploded in Bulgarian literature with many authors actually evolving his mythos in some way. And with this project, I want to make a contribution to the story and actually write my own interpretation of what this character was like, and really want to make a parallel a bit with Western alchemy, as for example, how alchemists wanted to turn matter into gold and therefore from the outer transform the inner. And I want to relate it in crafts in some way. So I want to imagine Boyan as a craftsman who at one point had such a power over matter that he had power over the matter of his body as well and could turn into a wolf and something like that. So
That's very poetic. And also and also fitting to the scripts you're using, especially to the more magic-looking one.
I want it to be like a life story, and it's going to be a double book. I can show you a bit of sketches I have here. Some of my more not so ugly sketches. I'm not sure if I can explain it properly, but as you saw, this signature is going to be rather narrow. So these are going to be two books, one facing the other, and they will have two covers separate on the top, but one cover that is going to be common for the both of them on the bottom. And both of them will have an additional covers that, as you can see in the other picture, this is how it will look closed. So it will have four covers, one going up, one going down, and two going sideways. And there's going to be a lot of gold and silver on top. And we're still designing.
So opening the book will be a process in itself. Like you don't get it all at once. Yeah.
It's going. I want it to be a kind of like, I'm not sure how it's in English, but in Orthodox Christianity, you have this basically a wood carved thing you put on the wall with icons which open, and you put a candle in the middle. It's basically like a home shrine. We call it a iconostas. And I wanted to be like, for example, a pagan, something like a rebellion of Boyan against Christianity, but in his own search for freedom type of way, not really in a destructive sense.
I think it's also fitting because, according to legend, as far as I remember, Boyan and his Christian brother fought together against enemies of the nation. So they fought the same war, but in different ways. One was fighting with the cross, another was fighting with his magic. So there is this synthesis too. This is great because, you know, Mark Cockram, who we've already mentioned today, he also makes book-inspired iconostasis. He also thinks that the standard diptych is a form of a book. So he treats it like the variant of the same object. This is great. Thank you for showing it to us. This is very inspiring.
No problem. I hope we get to all see it finished someday.
That's true.